Listen up, people. Manscaped have done it again. This time, it's the Chairman Pro, giving you a clean, close shave. The Chairman Pro is waterproof. The Chairman Pro has long-lasting battery life. And you use the code FTM20 and you will get 20% off of this product.
Yes, people. Big up to every single one of you. Thank you so much for being here for this live. We're going to do a press conference reaction for a quick half-hour stream before we head over to the football terraces. Please stay with us. It'll redirect you straight over there with myself and Terry, who'll be cooking LB. So please make sure you stay with us. That's at 3:30. For now, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Make sure that you are all in the house for our sponsors of the channel. We've got manscaped.com, as you've just seen there. FTM20, FTM20 is the code that you need, people. Go and get your products in time for Christmas. We're only going to be doing these deals until the new year, so you really do need to get involved with that now. Click on the link in the pinned comments or in the description and make sure that you follow the code FTM20, which should work. Please let me know if it doesn't and you've got any problems. The code that you need is FTM20. We also have an unbelievable chance for some tickets. If you do want to get yourself to an Arsenal game or a football game of your choice, then please do make sure that you are clicking on the link in the description to Reality Raffles. They're 99 pence, but with FTM10, you'll get 10% off. That's FTM10. You'll get 10% off. It's only 99p per ticket. It is an unbelievable opportunity to win a football match day package of up to £500. It is for a team of your choice. If you want to get to the Emirates, if you want to have a chance of getting to watch your team, then please make sure you go to Reality Raffles. Link is in the description or pinned into the comments. All you need to do is click on that, and it is 99 pence to get in with a chance. There's an unbelievable opportunity for some instant wins as well. So please make sure that you're in that to win it, people. Link is in the description. Let's get into it, shall we? Because Arteta has had his press conference, people. So make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, and let's go through it because, my goodness, I am stunned by some of the stuff this guy is saying. I don't know if he's rattled. I don't know if he's stressed. I don't know if he's lost the plot. But some of the stuff that I'm hearing is absolutely bizarre, I have to say. I have never looked at the Community Shield as a trophy. I've always saw it as a glorified soccer aid. But Mikel Arteta is counting them both as trophies that he has won. What do we think? Is a Community Shield a trophy? Should it be recognised as a trophy? Should it be seen as a major honour? Well, as far as we're concerned, our manager believes that he's won 3 trophies. That's what we've seen. And do you know what's absolutely hilarious? What's even more embarrassing is that the Arsenal.com website, which I'm going to go through word by word in a minute, has actually deleted what he'd said from it because they must have been so embarrassed by it. It's actually completely got rid of what he said after that question, which we're going to go through now. So listen, people, we got a big game tomorrow night against Crystal Palace. Some people might not see it as big. Some people might believe that it's not actually that special, that it actually gets in the way of the league. But you know what? I'm going to say this now. If we dare go out that competition tomorrow night, wait until you see what the reaction will be like, because the fan base surely have to be not accepting going out of this game against Crystal Palace at home in a cup where we need to win trophies big time. 5 years, 1 trophy, not 3, Mikel. You've won 1. The 2 Community Shields, nobody counts. They go down in history that you've won them, but they have absolutely no say on your stay here as manager. And that goes for every other manager, by the way. Otherwise, Pep Guardiola and Jose Mourinho and Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger and Carlo Ancelotti and Antonio Conte and all of these guys will be counting charity shields as trophies. No, nobody does that. Nobody does it. But this manager does. Big up to all of you. There's 150 of you in here already. Make sure you do me a favor and make sure, there's even more than that now. It's going up by the second. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, please, people. We're not getting enough people hitting the like and subscribe. Otherwise, I wouldn't keep going on about it. Trust me, it means a lot for the channel. If it didn't, I honestly would not care, but it really does. And it really does promote what we're trying to achieve here. So let's get the likes up, people, to well over 200, and we can get from there to go through the comments. Look, got any questions for me? Throw them in. I'll go through the super chats. We'll put them on the screen. Any questions, please throw them. But I've got to say, I'm not here for long, and I need to get on with this because what we're hearing from this manager is pretty crazy today. Every word on the website lies. It's not every word, is it, Arsenal? You've edited it. You've doctored some of it because you're embarrassed by what your manager has said. Shame on you. Shame on you. Let's take a look at what this guy has been saying, because some of it is complete and utter waffle and some of it is actually quite embarrassing. So let's go through it, people. He was first asked on the team news. His reply was not much, not giving anything away there. Asked on Declan Rice, he said that he's fine. We'll make the decision now whether he's available or not. Now, that was very interesting for me because Declan Rice was clearly not fit. He was taken off and Jorginho was brought on. A question mark again at Everton. Why are you bringing on Jorginho? Why are you bringing on Partey at right back? Why are you switching Timber to the left again? Why are you having Timber, Gabriel, Saliba, Partey, Jorginho and Marino all playing in your defensive lineup against Everton? What is going on here? That's what I don't get. I really do not get that. It is crazy. But Declan Rice playing with a knock, playing because he's injured, disgrace. Apparently he's fine now. So hopefully he's fully recovered. On Zinchenko and Calafiori, no, Alex and Richie will be out of the squad tomorrow. Anybody know what's wrong with them? We never hear. We never get asked. We never get told. None of these journalists actually ask what's wrong with these players. Are they still injured? Oh, it must be. Tomiyasu. Anyone know if he's a hologram? Anyone know if he exists? Is he a cardboard cutout? Sterling, is he a cardboard cutout? Does he exist? You know, Laurie, I was speaking to the other day, Robbie's brother. Are they all AI, he said? Are these players AI? Do they exist? I haven't seen Calafiori since West Ham where he walked off. I haven't seen Zinchenko since Man United where he walked off. I haven't seen Tomiyasu all of the season, other than 6 minutes against Southampton at home where he came on and we haven't seen him since. What is happening with these players? I saw Sterling and Tierney. I'm not quite sure if they're two holograms that were actually running up and down, but my goodness, it was crazy to hear and see that these players are actually still at the club. So no change on team news. These guys are definitely out. He was asked if we will make wholesale changes tomorrow. He said that we'll decide that in the morning in relation to how the squad is. Obviously, the relevance of the match and where we are in the quarterfinals, it becomes a very important match. We'll decide the best team to win it. I hope this team is not a load of kids. I hope this team is not similar to the team that we put out against Bolton and Preston. I'm not happy with a couple of players starting. Of course, I'd like to see Ethan Nwaneri, but that is pretty much it. I do not want to see a team that has Josh Nichols in it, that has Maldini at the back, that has Jack Porter in goal, that has Partey at right back, that has Lewis Skelly with all of these kids playing. I don't want any of that. I want it to be our strongest team. And if Lewis Skelly and Nwaneri are part of that, cool. But I don't want them being the most senior heads on the pitch. That's what I do not want. Crazy. It really is. The only player I would actually be all right seeing would be Raheem Sterling on the left, because Martinelli and Trossard are stinking the joint out over there. So let's see if Sterling can do any better. We've got him. I've been told he's an 8 out of 10 window. I've been told he's going to be Raheem the Dream. I've been told we've seen the best out of him. If he can't do it against Palace at home, clearly he needs to go back to Chelsea in January. Real talk. A chance for silverware. This is where it's been doctored. This is where it's been completely switched out. Apparently, this question was asked. On a big chance for silverware, we want more and the big ones too. That's for sure. That is not what Mikel Arteta said. Now, the Arsenal.com website are clearly lying here, or they're clearly embarrassed with the answer that Mikel Arteta gave, because actually it was quite an embarrassing answer for what he gave for this one. I don't know if you have done so already, but please make sure you actually do go and take a look at it, because actually it's quite embarrassing. Now, the question was, you've been here for 5 years, Mikel. You've got this team challenging for titles, but you still only have the one trophy to show. His reply was, and the 2 charity shields. So that makes 3. Wow. Desperate times, people. Desperate times. If Mikel Arteta is actually counting those 2 trophies to add to the FA Cup, then he's right. We've won 3 trophies under Mikel Arteta. But how many managers count Community Shields? They don't, do they? They don't. So why is this manager? I'll tell you why. Because he's desperate for them. He's desperate. He's so starved of silverware that he has to try to look back at Community Shields. Now, the website are clearly too embarrassed to put what he's actually said. So they've tried to make up some, they've tried to give a synopsis of what's been said. So they've put here, on a big chance for silverware. We want more on the big ones too, that's for sure. Now, he did end up saying he wanted more trophies. He did end up saying he wanted to win more trophies. But let's actually put what he said. Because he didn't just say, yeah, we want to win more trophies. That would have been quite fair. What they did was they've cut out thinking, this is rather embarrassing. What should we say that Mikel said here? Oh, we'll just summarise that he said we want to win more trophies. Go and listen to it, people. Go and listen to it on Haters TV. You'll be absolutely stunned. It's one of the first questions he's asked. You've been here for 5 years, Mikel. You've got us to a title challenge inside. You've only got the one trophy to show for it, though. What about the others? Well, we've got 2 others as well. We've got the 2 charity shields that we can count as well. No, you can't. It's a glorified soccer aid. Yeah. It's a great day out of Wembley. It's good fun. It's great to see, but it is seen as a pre-season friendly. In fact, it's part of the pre-season friendly fixture lists. It's crazy. Just said Goat Farmer. Is he going to include some Manager of the Month awards as well? Oh my God, it's hilarious. Big up to D, man. Make sure you go follow my boy. Back of the Nest, Palace fan channel. You'll see some content from me and D as well outside the ground tomorrow night. So make sure that you are following him as well. He says, what happens to the big Arsenal I know about? Counting the Community Shield trophies. You lot are finished. Where are the standards? It's an absolute shambles. It is all about standards. But you know what? What do I know? I'm just toxic. I'm just negative. You should go and support Tottenham. You should get out my club. What an embarrassment. You guys are the ones that are an embarrassment. If you don't think what he said there is embarrassing, give your head a wobble and take a look at yourself because your standards are in the bin. But he continues. We're talking about the January transfer window now, people. Now, I've already seen and heard about Mikel Arteta in the January transfer window, and I already know that he said it's a likelihood that won't really get much done, which is always very promising. His attitude, in my opinion, in these interviews could be very different to what he's going to be like in January, I hope. Because if he goes by what he's saying in his interviews, we ain't going to do anything, people. And I don't think the Cronkies are going to care too much for it. So on the January transfer window, he says he fully trusts the squad and the players. He trusts the amount of situations and things that we generate in the match and how little we concede. I fully trust my players. Now, look, he's not going to come out, is he, and say, I don't trust any of this lot. They're all a bunch of absolute useless tossers, and we're going to have to go and buy people in January. He is not going to say that, people, right? That is just not something that he's going to come out and say. But my goodness, to say that we are not going to do anything in January would be something rather silly. So surely he's not that silly, right? Surely he's not that silly. This suggests he's happy with his squad. It doesn't mean he's not going to add to it. It doesn't mean he is going to add to it. But he is fully happy with this squad. I would say this squad is short in every department. Every department. Now, it might not be short of players. We've got players. We can cover every single position. But we can't cover it adequately. Because when Ødegaard was out, we were a mess. 2 years ago when Saliba was out, we were a mess. We've seen Saka go out and we can't score. We've got no number 9 anyone's happy with at the club. Nobody's happy with our left-hand side. Nobody's happy with our left 8. Nobody's happy with our left back. Nobody believes we've got adequate cover for Saliba, Saka or Ødegaard. And we've got a cup-tied goalkeeper who's 36 sitting on the bench who hasn't played a game yet. So nobody tell me that we've got adequate cover in every single area. It is not adequate cover, man. It really isn't. But he's happy with the squad and he's trusting the players. He's asked what he's expecting against Crystal Palace. He says it's very tough. You look at the last results and the approach that they have, the quality of the individuals they have, how they're coached. It's always really tough. And it's another layer of difficulty as well when you play a team twice in 4 days. We have to be prepared for that. Let me ask you a little question in the chat, right? Let me ask you a little question. We've got Crystal Palace twice in 4 days. We have to lose one of these games. We have to. Right? Someone's just told us we got to lose one. I know it's a very negative way to look at it because I think we should be able to win them both. But if we had to lose one of these 2 games, would you rather lose on Wednesday or Saturday? Just put it in the chat. Wednesday or Saturday. That's all you need to reply. Wednesday or Saturday. Which one do you want? or would you prefer us to drop points in? Because for me, I want to stay in that cup. So I'd happily take the cup game. I would happily lose on Saturday. A lot of people are saying Saturday, and I agree. I would rather lose in the league than in the cup and go out. Honestly, anybody wanting to lose this on Wednesday and stay in the league title is a joke, because cups and trophies are what we need. I need to see a trophy this season. Now, I still feel even if we lost at the weekend, we could probably still end up between 4 and 6 points off of the winner, whether it be Liverpool, Chelsea, City, or whatever it be. Right, it's probably not going to be City now, is it? Right? But we cannot, if we go out at the cup, win that. So for me, the team don't look good enough for the league. A trophy is where it has to be. So I've got to be seeing that now. I really have to be. He was also asked on if we need to win or want to win the cup. Now, this was Ian Abraham's Moose from TalkSport, who I think is a bit of a wally, if I'm honest with you. He was asking this crazy question. What he really should have asked was, how important is it that you win this competition? But he doesn't. He's come out with a real waffle by saying, do you need to win the cup, or do you want to win the cup? I mean, what sort of question is this, by the way? Like, we all know what he's trying to say. Just say it in a little bit more comprehensive way, right? I'm no journalist. I'll never want to be one. But surely you need to say, how important is it you to win this competition, Mikel? Much better way of saying it. But instead he's saying, hi, Mikel, do you need to win this cup, or do you want to win this cup? What the hell is he talking about here? So he says we want to win and do everything that we can to win it. Which was the easiest question to answer ever, because he's asked the question in such a shite way. It's not about whether we need or want to win. It's the pressure coming in a big club because you want to do the best that you possibly can, and that's related at the end to major trophies. And this is what we want to do. Now, Mikel Arteta has already come out saying we must win a trophy this season. Mikel Arteta has already said here at the end of it that it's related to the end. In the end of the day, it's related to major trophies, which is how you are kind of evaluated on the best job that you've done. How many trophies have you won? Well, I've been here 10 years and I've won 1 trophy. We ain't done very well then. I've been here 10 years and I've won 7 trophies. We've done very well then, right? So Pep Guardiola, Jose Mourinho, Arsene Wenger, Sir Alex Ferguson, they've known as greats. Why? Not because they were there for 20 years. It's because they were there winning trophies. Jurgen Klopp, winning trophies. Mikel Arteta has been here for 5 years. I had 6 seasons this is going into, and he's won 1 trophy with a team that we were told was toxic and he had to get rid of and disband. So, not a great job, Mikel. Great job to get us challenging, if that's a different question. Winning stuff, nah. Let's be real. So, there we go. A lot of people agreeing with me in the chat about losing. If we had to lose a game, you'd rather stay in the cup than win in the league. Fair play to you, man. I appreciate your honesty and fair play. 330 of you in here, people. We haven't even hit 100 likes. Let's hit the like button and subscribe, please, people. We're getting very close to 29k already. We're nearly at 28.6. If we can get now a few subscribers, which are absolutely free to do, by the way, it's no subscription fee. Just hit subscribe and like on the video right now, and you'll make me very happy. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Let's continue. Let's go to what he is saying next. He was asked on how to ensure that we score in games that we dominate after the Everton draw. Yeah, very frustrating, isn't it, that you go and dominate a team but can't actually create or test the goalkeeper. He said the frustrating part is that watching it back, all the incredible things the team does and still not get rewarded for the 3 points. We'll come back to that. Look back at other games in the league and our margins were 10 times bigger than many other teams that have won that day. But this is football. At the end of the day, what we have to do is put the ball in the back of the net. I'm glad he knows that. And then we don't have this issue. What the team's producing and the way the team dominate the game, there's very little to say. Let's break this down. The first thing he said is he's watched the game back and he sees all the incredible things that the team has done, and we've not been rewarded. What were all the incredible things we did against Everton and Fulham then, Mikel? Because I didn't see any open play creativity chances. I saw a couple of taps at the goalkeeper. I saw one good save from Pickford, which was against Saka, which was a really good save, by the way. But that was it. So what's all the incredible things? A couple of passes to a goalkeeper and a strike at a goalkeeper that they saved. Was that incredible things that we did? He says, looking back at other games in the league and the margins where they're 10 times bigger, other teams that have won that day, this is football. So basically, he's comparing it, saying, I've seen a lot of teams play like we do and they take 3 points. Well, I haven't seen any teams playing like we do. And the ones that have normally draw the game or lose the game, just like we're doing. So I don't know what he's talking about there. He says, at the end of the day, we've got to put the ball in the back of the net. So why don't you go get some strikers then if ours aren't good enough to put the ball in the back of the net? Real talk. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. On people saying there's an over-reliance on set-piece goals. Well, he said that's always the narrative. When you score 5 goals, then another 5, another 3, you're not going to talk about it. When you concede, now you don't have that many clean sheets. When you don't score a goal, you're going to come back to that. It's normal. That's the narrative. But for us, it doesn't change. We want to improve regardless of if we score 3 or 5. Even though we didn't concede anything on Saturday, there's still defensively, I want to be better. It doesn't change or work. Us defensively have actually been probably as worse I've ever seen, if I'm honest. We're conceding all the time. Crazy. Balance of tomorrow's selection. He said, we've managed the squad in the best way possible to make sure everyone's fit and available. It feels part of it, ready when the team needs them. If we have to make changes, I'm sure that the boys who came in will have that, and others will have to play as well because of the numbers. So we're going to see a rotated side. I imagine the team's going to be something similar to as follows. Raya will probably be in goal. I imagine it will probably be Timber at right back, and it will probably be Lewis Skelly at left back. I imagine it will probably be Saliba and Gabriel, unless he believes Kivior can come in. I think in midfield, he'll probably go with Jorginho, as he's played in every single Carabao Cup game so far. And he'll probably go with Marino and Nwaneri. I think it'll probably have to be a front 3 of Saka, because he always plays. And I believe it will probably be Jesus and Sterling. That's what I think the team might be. If he doesn't play Jesus and Sterling for this one, I don't quite know when they'll get a start, if I'm honest with you. So, yeah, we'll see what happens here. He says on how he feels about the narrative of the team with stats saying we're scoring less than last season. He said it's very different to that. The depth of the analysis is what I'm interested in. So basically he says, I don't care about stats, which I don't, to be fair. But when the stats are piling up on you, something needs to change. He was asked a question about players sitting back against Everton, Fulham, and he says, is that going to happen at Palace? He says, slightly different. He doesn't think that Fulham did sit back. They never had that approach, and they've played against Spurs and Liverpool, and they haven't done that again either. I actually think Fulham have been fantastic this season. I think Marco Silva's been a fantastic manager for them, and I think they've got some really good players. He said it's what you're able to do to teams sometimes, that they have to do certain things in relation to the game, the scenario, and the scoreline obviously has a big input to that. We'll face one game or another. He also talked about the challenge of deciding a game as a player. Yeah, look, I don't quite know where we were going with this one, because this is not something that was scored by Mikel Arteta in Carabao Cup, so I don't quite know what he was thinking or where he was going here. This was definitely a bit of a strange one, but he was asked a question in relation to winning games. I think they spoke about his moments of magic against Manchester City as an Arsenal player when he scored. I know he scored good goals against Aston Villa and Blackburn and stuff like that. He says it's a magic moment, not only just to score a goal, it's a magic moment. Gabriel last year against Manchester United, when he plays the striker offside for millimetres, that's a magic moment as well, in my opinion. It doesn't only have to be scoring a goal, but we have players that are capable of doing it, and doing it every 3 days is when you become a world-class player, a player that wins games with individual actions, and we're trying to develop our players to have more of that, because that would be another source of winning games. So I think that was quite a good answer, to be fair, that, you know, it isn't just about moments of scoring goals, it's about moments that actually make a game, and that was definitely one of them last year for sure. How much of it is mental? He says it's a lot. Actually making it happen and believing it can happen again, creating the fear in the opposition that a player or two can deliver that. A player can become, it's easy to say, predictable. I know what he's going to do, but actually stopping what he's going to do is something else. And I always think that with Messi and Salah and Mahrez and Robben, that we're always doing that cut inside, and Saka does it now as well. It just seems predictable. You know where he's going, but they just keep doing it. And that was something that Pepe could never do at Arsenal, in my opinion. Everyone just saw it as predictable. He was quite slow and lackluster with it, so it was easy to dispossess him. On whether going through the cup builds momentum, he says, I think so. I fully believe that. The fact you're winning, you get into the next round of the competition, it builds and creates something different around the team, and that's why these kind of games are really, really important. Look, Jose Mourinho and Pep Guardiola won them the most, and they then went on to win the most Premier League trophies. So you've got to look at that now. Sir Alex Ferguson as well is another one. You've got to look at the managers that did it. And Wenger wasn't one of them, really. He used to just play the kids and get, concentrate on others. And that's something I never understood. He says, on taking inspiration from Man City's success, yes, it keeps everyone on their toes. Everyone's willing to play those games, those competitions. If you're able to win it, it does give you momentum, which is absolutely true. It gives you the belief And we are ready, and the team's always engaged every 3 days to try to achieve the wins. On the January transfer window again, he said it will depend on what player it is, the value of the player, and if there's any other movements in the squad. So it's very difficult to answer. So what he's saying there is there a player we want? Is it a player that is of value to what we want to pay? Is there any other movements in our squad? Is anyone leaving? Is anyone injured? It's very difficult to answer now. I think it means we're not going to sign anyone unless someone they believe is of absolute value for money or one of our players gets injured. So do we need a blessing in disguise? An injury to Havertz and Jesus? Something like that. Not long term. Let's say Havertz gets a knock and he's out for 5 weeks and Jesus is out for 2 months. What do we do then? Do we have to go and get a striker? And let's be real, there's strikers out there. Turkish said it right the other day. When people say there's nobody out there, yes, there is. Gyökeres, release clause. Osimhen, release clause. One of those two has to come in my opinion. They won't, because we want Sesko or Isak or both. And we're not going to get them till the summer, in my honest opinion. If winning the League Cup can lead to more trophies, I think it's helpful. I think it brings belief, trust, and energy. Touching a cup, beating someone in the semi-final, beating someone in the final generates that energy, and I think that creates the right path to go and do something else, which I think is all about momentum. He also said about how he'll celebrate it. He says he doesn't drink wine. It'll be a special day for him. His 5 years in charge. 5 years in this job, especially the size of the club that we are, is a big thing, so he's very grateful. I wouldn't have a celebration. I'll probably reflect on it, have some memories, look through some pictures and comments and a few moments that we've spent together, recall it and revalue it because it's quite a long time. Look, he deserves credit for being here for 5 years, but he's very lucky to still be here. Let's just say it how he is. He's one of the luckiest managers we've had. I mean, there was times we were coming 8th and 5th, and I was thinking, this guy's still here? How? And that just gives me no faith whatsoever that we're going to underachieve and not keep him. If we're going to underachieve this season and come 3rd or 4th, we're still going to keep Arteta, which is, I think, unacceptable. He said, we're here to win games, and even though we did the majority of things to win it comfortably, the fact that we didn't. Raheem Sterling didn't come on against Everton. Is there a reason why? He said no. If Nwaneri and Ødegaard can play together, he says he depends on who they are surrounded by and depending on which position that Ethan can play. And this was interesting. He said he can play as a right attacking midfielder, a left attacking midfielder, a right winger, and there's another position that I think he can develop into in a few years' times. Their options are there. And then he was asked, well, what is that position then? Where do you see him in the future? And he replied, a number 9. So he sees Ethan Nwaneri as a striker. Now, I don't. I think he's an attacking midfielder. I think he looks an absolutely delightful player to play there. He looks like an Ødegaard type player. Does Ethan Nwaneri start in the 9 for Mikel Arteta in some of these future games? Do we not need a number 9 because Ethan Nwaneri is the striker? It starts making you think, right? That is not something that I look at Ethan Nwaneri and think, yeah, you're definitely a number 9, mate. There's no way. There's just no way. Keep hitting the likes up, people. We've only just hit over 100. Let's get that up to 200, please. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button as well. 2 of those buttons are free. I just need to hit both of them. Like, subscribe, get the little thumbs up sign. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's get it up to what we need it to be. Coming to the end now, he said the qualities that Ethan would bring to the number 9. He said when he's got the goal in front of him, he just looks at the goal. He has a tremendous ability to put the ball into the back of the net. Now, look, I've not got anything against playing Ethan Nwaneri in a number of positions, but I do not see him as a striker. I certainly don't see him as a striker anytime soon. We need to go and look at a striker and a left winger, and it needs to be one that we can actually look. People said to me the other day, would you get Isak and Gyökeres? Yes, I would. 100% I would. 1, because they're 2 brilliant number 9s, and 2, because Isak can play wide left. So if we had a front 3 of Saka, Gyökeres and Isak, like Sweden have got with Kulusevski, Isak and Gyökeres, I think we'd have a great front 3. And I think Isak can play off of the left like Thierry Henry used to and come inside. Definitely you can utilise that. And then it'll be an absolute disaster having to double mark Saka, double mark Isak, and have to worry about what Gyökeres is doing with Ødegaard feeding them behind. It would be probably one of the best front 4s in Europe. But will we do it? Probably not. Probably not. Listen, it was interesting to go through that. I always like to try and see what Mikel Arteta's up to. I don't do as many as these streams now. It's just finding enough time, but I do enjoy them with you guys. The transfer window shows will be coming back to the channel, people, every morning. So please make sure that you do hit like and subscribe. Stay with us because you're going to be heading over to Terry's channel now on the Football Terrace with myself, LB, and Terry. So please make sure you stay for that because LB is going to get absolutely cooked and destroyed as he always is. And make sure you are in for a chance to win a ticket to the Emirates or any football ground that you decide if you are successful. 99 pence by Reality Raffles at all it costs. All you've got to do is click on the link in the description or in this pinned comment. It will take you straight there after this. And all you need to do is secure your ticket for just 99 pence online. And you'll have an unbelievable chance to win up to £500 for a match day experience of your choice. The Emirates, Old Trafford, Etihad, Wembley, Spurs, wherever you want to go. If you do want to go and watch Spurs, I am very sorry. You can get some medication for it. I'm, of course, joking. Big up to every single one of you. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Stay with us. It's going to send you straight over to Terry now. I'll see you over there at the Football Terrace. Big up, people. We're out of here.